What's up, everybody? It's the HorrorDeconstruction. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, but mostly on YouTube. Also Twitter. With your host, Komp and
Sharon Tate.
But on YouTube. And today's film is...
The Ninth Gate, 1999.
The Ninth Gate. I was trying to find a joke there, but I couldn't find one. The Ninth Gate, 1999. A rare book dealer, while seeking out the last two copies of a demon text, oh brother, gets drawn into a conspiracy with supernatural overtones. Directed by Roman Polanski, based on a novel called...
Why did you say his name like that?
How do you say it? Was it Roman Polanski or Roman Polanski?
I would say it like that.
He is what? He's Polish, right? Or is he French? Or I forget.
I think he is French. Might be Polish. I don't know. I have no idea.
Based on a novel called The Club de Dumas by Arturo Perez.
French Polish.
Revert. It was so funny. He just directed a film that won like the highest award.
He's still like banned from America.
Right. He won the highest award for his movie recently this year or last year. I forget when it was. No, it was recently this year. And like all the women, like a lot of women actors just left the fucking room. So funny, like in the televised event. It was so funny because like Danny told me like Roman Polanski was his hero, and I was like, oh, you like his movies? He goes, he makes movies. Okay. Anyway,
I never said any such thing.
So it was written by, based on the book by him, screenplay by John Brown John. Ooh, that's a cool name. Enrique Urbizu and Roman Polanski. So, I heard that this movie, The Ninth Gate, like Polanski signed on because he didn't have his glasses on, and he thought it said the 9-year-old. Oops! I just dropped my keyboard. That was Polanski putting French.
I didn't hear it.
So anyway,
now,
yes.
Generally,
should we get that out of the way first?
I saw this movie years ago, like I was a teenager or something.
Okay. Oh, so you actually saw the whole... Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me you saw it was like the most hilarious movie or something like that.
Me and my friends must have just been stupid or something. Like, we thought this was the worst movie. We were really? Laughing at it. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just weren't paying attention, and then at one point we turn and we see someone flying downstairs with no explanation.
Funny. It's like they took a clip out of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like for 5C. Like, what just happened? Like, I'm sure people in the theater are going, what's going on here?
Yeah, like, I'm guessing that... Like, I get the impression that even Johnny Depp's character, like, had no idea that she did that.
Right. No, he didn't. He didn't see her when she did that. So
at either time,
just to get out of the way, 70% of our jokes when we first started the HorrorDeconstruction were pedophilia jokes. It's nice to come back to them because it's a wealth.
We've gone full circle.
Roman Polanski. It's another. I honestly, it's a very difficult thing to say because it's a solid film by piece of shit guy, a guy who we saw Rosemary's Baby, which is always, it's so funny because it's like certain directors, if they make,
that's a really good movie,
of course, yeah. The funny thing is about it, like certain directors, like when they make a shit movie and they do some weird pedophilia shit, like the guy who did Jeepers Creepers, like Jeepers Creepers, I think the first half of that movie is fantastic. But then, like, he does other movies, and people even like
get those people
even like Powder and stuff like that. But they like, oh, fuck this guy, he's a pedophile, fuck him. But then,
he made Powder? I didn't know.
Yeah, and Francis Ford Coppola's no, he's okay, it was okay. And then when you watch videos with the director, I think it's Victor Salva. My nickname for him is Victor Salivate over Young Boys. And like he just looks like what you would picture a pedophile to look like, with a thin mustache and just creepy look to him.
Yeah, he is a little creepy.
And of course he did Clown House. To me, it was like a weird, strange movie because
what did you say, Bud House?
Yeah, the greatest joke I've ever read on any forum was like, "What's the sequel going to be? Bud House starring Michael Jackson?" And I thought it was the dumbest joke I ever heard, but the greatest of all time. Anyway. So yeah,
the Ninth Gate.
Wait, we got to get this out of the way first. So we got to explain our like the thing that I say when it's a bad director making movies who's a pedophile, then they say, oh, it's shit, get out of here. But once it's like an actual director that makes good films, then it's like, well, you have to separate the art from the artist. It's like it becomes that argument. Like, no, I can understand this guy's a scumbag, but he has some talent. So what happened with Roman Polanski in the past? I'm sure we brought it up in the Rosemary's Baby episode.
Sexually assault like a 13-year-old.
He was in the 7. I think this was after his wife was killed by Charlie Manson and his crew, and or just Charles Manson's crew, if you want to look at it that way. He drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl, but raped in the statutory rape sense, I guess. But it's still like bad. Like I think he committed anal on her, and he has not been able to come back to the U.S. because of that. But like great stand-up guys like Brett Ratner put him in Rush Hour 3, so that makes you wonder, like, Jackie Chan probably had no idea. Like, they probably told him in China, like, Mr. Chan, do you know your co-star in Rush Hour 3, who was Roman Polanski, raped a 13-year-old girl? He was like, oh! Like that. And Chris Tucker didn't care. That was an Irish accent, by the way. So yeah, he is, obviously, that is a big shadow over any of his films, so he never came back to face justice, because maybe he feels like he doesn't need to face justice. Who knows?
Well, he probably doesn't want to go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's like, so France is okay with him. So I don't know. I don't know. Whatever.
Whatever.
He's obviously done some shit. He's not paid.
Rich people have a whole different law.
And it's funny because when you bring it up, like I remember I was on a Facebook and somebody brought up because Woody Allen just released a book and it's a memoir. And I was like, I made a joke saying, R. Kelly's going to make a musical adaptation. And then some people like, laugh out loud. And then one guy wrote like a paragraph. It wasn't even like a normal human paragraph. It looked like he had written this over and over and just copy and pasted it. Woody Allen has not been paid any price, or he hasn't been sentenced or anything. I was like, well, it's true, but like, I was making a joke, asshole. Like, okay, it's not like Woody Allen's like... Woody Allen goes to Facebook and sees my post and goes, "Oh no, What? By the way, what do you think? What do you think Woody Allen? He sounded like when he got Soon Yi when she was finally 18 years old.
Oh God, he's like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
If you ever go on YouTube, look up Mad TV, and it's look up Woody Allen in Die Hard. It's the fucking fun. It's an old Mad TV sketch, and it's just the funniest fucking thing.
Does he do Yippee-ki-yay?
He does something like that, but it's just like a guy doing, he does that, and then he has like an Asian schoolgirl, and he starts taking photos of her. It's just very like creepy. Anyway, so
The Ninth Gate.
The Ninth Gate is this film starring...
This is based on a book, apparently?
Yeah, I said that at the beginning of this episode. It's called The Club of Saint Dumas, who I guess is Dumas is the guy who wrote The Three Musketeers. And it was like, it's closer to this, but it's more, I don't know what time frame it's based on. But apparently it must be old, because if it's a club on Dumas, and Dumas is obviously an old school writer. Anyway, so it stars who? We're about to step into another fucking
Johnny Depp, who I'm not generally a fan of.
So Johnny Depp was also...
He's good in this.
Johnny Depp was also a cancelled individual. We're going to get all this crap out of the way, but this is something to talk about.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp... Somebody getting hit with an axe where you are? What the fuck? Anyway... Sorry, I heard you won't hear it on the episode, but I heard some fucking weird sound.
Maybe.
So Johnny Depp also just got canceled because he was accused of beating his ex-wife Amber Heard, who's if you've seen Aquaman, she plays Mira, who is Aquaman's girlfriend in the movie.
Isn't she from like American Horror Story or one?
No, she was in a couple things, but I don't really know where she's from. Anyway, so people canceled him. They got rid of him. Disney fired him from Pirates of the Caribbean because all this stuff. And obviously if you punch your wife, because I remember hearing in the past that but he
didn't do it, right?
Well, we'll get to that. I remember very clearly back then, unless it's some sort of Mandela effect, a long time ago, hearing that he used to slap around his Elle McPherson, that he slapped her around, but then I couldn't find any articles about it, but I remember hearing that, so maybe I was seeing something from the future. Anyway, recently there were audio of Amber Heard taunting him and saying she kicked his ass, like beating him up, so now everybody's real quiet. You notice that? And then there's like articles about, Johnny Depp is gonna be brought back on to these movies, the Pirates of the Caribbean film. So Johnny Depp has always been...
That's really annoying.
Johnny Depp, and here's the thing, like,
I feel bad for him.
One is a proven piece of shit criminal, which is Roman Polanski, and the other one is Johnny Depp, who now it's like ambiguous, but you either have to be on one side or the other, so it's a stupid fucking thing. But here's the thing. Johnny Depp is good in this movie. I think he's actually
really
very
good in this movie.
I thought he was good in the first. Like, I'm not into pirates, but I saw the first Pirates of the Caribbean. That was enough.
I mean, I don't know why. I've just never clicked with him all the way. Although I love a lot of things he's in.
He's been doing stuff even from the beginning of what was that show that he used to be on, the School?
Oh, that soap opera one,
the
right?
the School one. They made a couple sequels to it. Whatever, the fucking undercover school thing.
What are you talking about?
And anyway, so he plays very understated in this film. Like, he's not over the top wacky. Like, every movie we've seen so far, like as of late, is him doing over the top shit. Like the Lone Ranger, which I thought was actually pretty good.
Edward
a lot
Scissorhands.
Of people, Edward Scissorhands. I think he was a little bit more understated in that one. So there's like no in between. Like, he's either over the top or he's really sort of very like this. And obviously Lone Ranger, and then fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. I saw the first one. I couldn't understand why people thought his character was charming, and they made five.
I saw like bits and pieces of one once, and it was like, okay, I don't get.
It still, to me, has the best CG effect I've ever seen in a movie, which is they fight this guy who has like an octopus head, and it still looks good. Like, it's shocking at how good that effect still looks. And I'm like, I understand.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've like seen a flawless effect in a film. Anyway, so here he is playing Corso, who is a guy who finds rare books. And at the beginning of the movie, we see him that he's basically getting these people books out of their fucking hands. Like, he's just basically...
He's a book thief, kind of. Not really a thief, but kind of a swindler.
He's a swindler, he's a scumbag. He has a reputation of being a piece of shit. He's getting a couple books. He actually buys, I think, 4 original copies of the Three Musketeers in this one. I think in the
Don Quixote.
Yeah, is Don Quixote in this one? Okay, because in the original book it's Three Musketeers. And he's giving it to his friend, who's like selling it for him. He's a guy that he works with.
I like the friend. Me too. He's
fucked. To my favorite character in the film, who's played by Frank Langella, who's playing Boris Balkan, the bad guy, the big baddie of the film.
I totally recognize him.
You didn't recognize him?
No, I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he played Skeletor in He-Man and Masters of the Universe. He was the best part of that movie.
Okay.
He played like Skeletor was like, in the original cartoons, like, yeah, you bumbling bone. And he talked like that, but in there.
Oh, he's in that. He's right now in that Jim Carrey show. Kidding. He's the dad.
Yeah, he's such a good fucking actor. He's one of those actors that you don't know when they became old.
He seems like lovable. Like, his face looks lovable, but he seems to play scumbags a lot.
Yeah, he's so good in this one. He's such a scum fuck in this movie. It's so good because he's just like, and the thing is, like, I don't know what this guy was thinking, Polanski, with like when he's talking on the phone, he talks at like a pin. Like, you have to hear a pin drop to hear this motherfucker talk because he's talking low. It sounds like, what? I can't hear this motherfucker talk. But he plays Boris Balkan, and he sets Johnny Depp on the, I guess, the MacGuffin chase, because he has a book called The Ninth Gate. I believe, is it called The Ninth Gate, or is it called?
It is called The Ninth Gate.
So this book is written by a supposed heretic who had the book.
Well, it's written by Satan himself.
Oh, right, and the guy just transcribed it, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
So he wants to know how legit his book is. So he sends him to Spain,
Portugal, and
France?
Somewhere else.
France, I know, because they were speaking French.
No, he goes to Spain too, actually, yeah.
So is it Spain, France, and Portugal?
I guess so, yeah.
To look at these, he's trying to find 2 other copies of the book to see, if they're authentic. And
but how many copies were there ever made? I guess only the 3?
I think they said there were 6 or something like that. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot.
So how could they do the complete thing with only...
Maybe it was just 3. Anyway, so tell us about what's going on in this film, Danny.
This guy goes on his quest with the book so he could compare other books to see if there's any discrepancies or if it's a forgery. And then people keep trying to kill him, and that's one thing that's like a flaw in the movie, though. Like, they're killing people around him, just kill him. Like, at one point they even knock him out, just kill him. Like, why not?
Right. It's weird because this film is sort of it's a mix between a noir and a cult film. And
it's kind of not really a horror movie at all, actually.
No, I love those 2 genres, and especially when they mix them together. Very rarely, I think there's only one other movie that I heard that had this sort of noir and occult sort of film to it. But it's a very interesting film, and it's really well done. Like, you understand why this guy's a fucking filmmaker besides a kid fucker.
Yeah, it looks like the fucking movie is shot fucking insane. It's great.
it feels like a movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't bored throughout the film. Like, I couldn't understand people going, oh, because it's like a 2 hour 15 movie, 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like fun to watch, but it's not really a horror movie at all.
Yeah, I think there was a calm sort of approach to the film, because like a lot of other sort of weird occult movies, they would just go, oh, let's do more people with masks. I mean, it even has that. It even has like a sex cult at the end. You know what I mean? So it has all those sort of tropes of occult films and noir stuff of like a guy being chased and the mysterious.
It would have been nice to see an orgy or something, though.
The woman who is played by his wife, actually, the director's wife.
What, like pre or post?
I think Manson? It was pre they got married. That would be.
No, I was making.
I didn't hear you say Emmanuel Segnier. What did you say? What did she?
I was just saying, was it Sharon Tate? Like
no. So this is his wife after, and they have 2 kids actually, Roman Polanski. So
okay.
I don't know that.
That's weird though to have. Could you imagine knowing, oh yeah, my husband fucking raped a 13-year-old. Let me marry him.
Maybe they're okay in France.
Have kids with him.
Maybe they're in France. They're okay. So France, explain yourself.
Maybe. I don't think they are, but
I can imagine.
If there's any French people listening, please explain.
She probably went up to him and goes, "Raymond, did you do this?" "I did not." And then he ate wine and cheese, and that was it. Then he didn't have to explain himself anymore.
That's
true. It was funny that I'm trying to look at my notes. You know when I like write notes and I can't read them myself. So who were your favorite characters in this film?
I really like the I guess she's like a demon. I don't really know what she is.
Right? The girl.
Yeah. I guess she's a demon. Yeah.
She's a really interesting character. Apparently, she's supposed to be the whore of Babylon, because that's what.
Oh, okay.
That's what her image is at the end. I read all most of the trivia at the end of this in the IMDb page. Because a lot of the art.
Okay. Is that official or is that a theory?
I think what they did is they altered an actual template of art, because this actually looks like old school art.
Okay.
And they just altered that last image to have her face in it, because it's drawn and it looks just like her face at the end. But that's supposed to be the whore of Babylon. That she's like, I don't really know what the whore of Babylon did, and I don't want to say anything like if there happens to be an actual medieval curse that will attack me.
Do you think that's possible?
I don't know. I really don't know. There's real shit happening now. This whole fucking New York City is going to become a fucking wasteland in a couple of months, God forbid. But anyway, people
are going to have the sniffles, and then we'll be fine.
There's also I think it's Lena Olin who plays another antagonist, Leanna Telfer.
Oh, is that the mom? Not the mom, the wife. That's like
is that what you consider a gilf? An older lady.
She'd definitely be a gilf or milf.
She had a nice butt. It was kind of small, but she knew she was working with.
Don't butt shame.
That's good. Have you ever had consecutive sex with 2 different people within a span of a couple of weeks?
Yes.
Oh, good for you. It takes a while for me, but anyway, so he pounds this old lady. And she has like a henchman that looks like he came out of fucking Meteor Man, or
the part where his hair is like so white. It's pretty funny. I like the part where she bites his chest. That's nice.
Yeah, and she has a tattoo of, what is it, the Silver Serpent or something like that?
Yeah, which they mentioned at one point. It's like in the book. It's like a drawing from the book or something.
Okay, I like that. For some reason, the music for you, it reminded me of Ghostbusters. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It was a scene. Dun, 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 dun.
But since
it goes like that, they just change it at the end. But
instead of Ghostbusters, since it's Polanski, it should be called Child Lusters. Oh, I cracked myself up. Boy, I'm hilarious. Anyway, so there's also like really interesting characters, like those the 2 old brothers that have
yeah.
But you know that
I like them.
Do you know that was one actor and he never really acted? He's more of like a camera operator.
So what, he was just in
Polanski just told him to act.
Oh, so it was one person though, not 2 people.
Yeah, and he also played the 2 guys fixing up the place at the end. So that was one guy playing 4 characters.
Oh, cool.
Pretty good. He's not even an actor, and I thought, I was like, fuck, this guy was like an interesting, couple of characters in a film. The Baroness Kessler, who's this lady in a wheelchair with like, do you think she was really missing?
Oh, I like the scene where her tongue's all hanging out. That was
nice. And her eyes were popped out. Like, that was cool.
But what I'm saying is, like, so they kill her, they bash him in the head. Why wouldn't they kill him?
Maybe they thought they had killed him.
No, they know how to check pulses.
So I know. Well, whatever. It's a movie, because if he died, then there would be no movie. So
also, why wouldn't they grab the book?
Was her hand CG? No, they just needed the paper, the drawings. Remember?
Yeah, I guess
they didn't need the books really. They just burnt the books, so it looked like they didn't need the books. But yeah, I like that. Was that lady's hand CG'd out, or you think she was really missing a hand? I think she was. I think it was CG'd out, her hand.
I don't know.
Because she
yeah, I guess
she pushed her hand out and it was like a fucking stump. There was horrible CG in this movie, like green screen. Because like when they're driving, did you not notice when he's in when the fucking the paint stands were falling and he's running and he looks like he's on another dimension? It's really
it didn't look that bad to me.
It's not horrible, but it's very like if I'm watching it on a big high def like computer screen.
Okay.
And then like driving scenes when they just had to insert them driving. I did really like the girl's character because she's so interesting. She's sort of like a Deus.
They never explain it, but I guess she's like
she's a whore Babylon. She's apparently she's a very supernatural person, and she fucks Johnny Depp.
But he has no idea.
No, because he doesn't see it. He just sees it. She doesn't do anything in front of him besides her eyeballs, having a weird color to them. I mean, right there, I'd be like, "What's going on?" Because her eyes are like super illuminated.
Yeah, but when they're having sex, she's like contorting.
Well, that's the very last thing they really do, because that's why he's driving so strangely.
So he must know at that point that what she is.
She had a nice French booty there, I'll tell you that. And she was like banging him, and then her face would change.
Well, she's the whore Babylon. I mean,
Yeah, but does the whore Babylon's face change when you have sex?
No, but she's gonna have a good butt.
But was she changing it to like the older lady Telfer or something like that? I don't understand whose face she was changing into. Her face was actually just changing into other people's faces.
It was kind of just changing a little.
And
cool.
That must have been a really good nut, because he was like he's like blasting.
I would have nutted at that.
What would you recommend? What was your favorite nut of all time? Was it good?
My favorite nut of all time? I mean,
do you remember? You don't have to say who it is, but do you remember?
It was recent.
Whoa, good for you. Mine was
very nice.
Mine was an old time. But
I think I could remember.
Did you ever do that? Did your girlfriend's face change when you having sex?
Yeah, I mean, definitely
burning.
The eyes were changing. The cheekbones were changing.
But
a little, yeah.
Frank Langella, Boris Balkan, because he's obviously been following Johnny Depp's character throughout the whole film. Because Johnny Depp's like, "Where are you? Where are you?" And he's like. He goes, I'm paying attention. I got to keep an eye on you. And then,
I mean, in a way, it's really Johnny Depp's fault that he was being followed in the first place. He shouldn't have gone.
I don't know why he. Oh, because I guess every other character knew about Balkan, so they didn't like him. So he needed to send somebody else to do this job.
No, but he went to the wife of the guy who hung himself in the very beginning. He shouldn't have told her.
Oh, right, yeah. But I love Boris Balkan when he comes into the end and he chokes. Telfer.
Yeah, that's a nice scene.
Jokes her because he looks the way his character is in the film is just like a guy who just won't take any shit, and then he just and then everybody's like scared of him and he goes boo, and they all start running.
You're nonsense. This is nonsense.
Yeah. It's so funny because it's like he believes it in himself, obviously, but not in the way that those people were doing it. But
you know what? He's actually right, except for one little mistake.
Yeah, he fucks up. He picks up the wrong a fake page or something. Like something happened.
Why didn't the demon tell him? I guess the demon liked Johnny Depp a little better.
Yeah, because Johnny Depp unlocks it at the end. Like I guess he goes to speak to.
Well, but the demon helps him unlock it.
Right. So like. Because when I'm reading the trivia, like I don't know how much of this is horse shit and how much like the person writing it filled it in themselves. They're sort of fan fiction for the movie. Because apparently, what it is, you speak to the devil and then you become immortal and have powers.
Well, but they're opening a gate to hell, so the devil lies. So that might not even be real.
So at the very end, we see him walking into like a photo shop.
But he's bringing the end of the world, I would imagine. He's opening up a gate to hell.
Yeah, but I don't understand what the whole, like. I wouldn't figure Johnny Depp's character would do that. I think he's just more curious.
Well,
it might lead to that.
He wants
obviously
to be immortal or something.
Yeah, it might lead to that, but I don't think he would actually.
No, he's not thinking that. He's falling for the lie. The devil lies. Like obviously, he's gonna die in like hell will be there.
But it's a legit, like, it's beautiful scenery. Everything looks gorgeous in this building. It feels like a world sort of hopping film. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's just
I don't know how I could ever have thought this was like the worst movie. I've always had it in my head that this is the worst movie.
Maybe you hated pedophiles and then you grew to appreciate them when you got older, that they were work.
That's true. That's true.
But I mean, it's just a very good film, and I'm like, shit. You know what I mean? It's like not that I should feel bad for liking a film. But you know, like you bring up, I like this movie, then everybody else is like,
can't control it.
Yeah, you're canceled. But yeah, he's obviously a scumbag. But he made a good movie. So he made Rosemary's Baby.
Still play Michael Jackson music. People still like it.
You scum animal bastard! How dare you?
It's true though.
But it's a solid fucking movie. It's a solid noir crime, sort of. I guess it is a crime thriller too.
So I would like to read the book. I bet the book is even better.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same guy who wrote no, did he? No, I don't even know how old the book is. The book is probably really old, but the ending is different. I mean, it's similar, but it's not as sort of what they wrap it up with this film. But anyway, I really enjoyed the film. I liked it. I like to see these types of more I don't know if it was a cerebral film, but it certainly was more of a languishing thriller. You know what I mean? It was like, it felt like people give a shit when they see a horror film, when they make a horror film. I mean, because you and I just came off of seeing another movie that was just like, you could tell who gives a shit. But in this one, you know, it was good, because the whole point of the film was like somebody trying to open up the 9 gates to speak to the devil, and it's just like his last.
Yeah, but I definitely wouldn't call this a horror movie.
Nah, it's not a horror film, but it has horror elements to it, like occult elements. And you know how the term horror is so fucking, you know, you can attach it to anything. But I certainly wouldn't put this as a regular drama. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And The 9 Gates is a fictional book written for this movie, blah, blah, blah. And apparently Johnny Depp and the director had clashes because I guess Polanski wanted him to be, I guess, more over the top or something, because he was looking for an older actor, but then Johnny Depp fought for the role. And then because Polanski says that Johnny Depp is playing it
older,
too flat.
Really? I mean, he's trying to play it safe and go the opposite of his former taste.
Yeah, because Polanski said that he played it too flat, but I thought he was good.
You missed my pedophile joke. It's okay.
What does it? Say that again, just so people can.
I'm not going to say it again. You're going to have to listen back.
Anyway, so this is a good film. I enjoyed it. So I would give this movie an 8 out of 10.
Ooh.
An 8 out of 10. Having sex with an old lady who is sexy, and then just a mere couple weeks later having sex with the whore of Babylon.
She's way older though, if you really think about it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Hey, he's not a scum fucking youth chaser like you are.
That's true. I'm not, everybody.
Well,
just to make
he's not a
very
scum
clear.
youth chaser like Roman Polanski. Okay, what's your rating for this film?
I agree with you. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Having sex with a person whose face is morphing and changing and whose eyes are turning into different colors as there's a fire on, like, a gate of hell.
I gotta say, that was fucking sexy. Like, that when her eyes are illuminating like that.
Oh yeah, no, if I saw like a demon doing that sort of thing as I'm having sex with them, I'm like, I'm already inside them. It's too late now. I'm just gonna keep going and I'm gonna enjoy it.
And then you're gonna do.
I'm not inviting a demon. Like, I don't want to fuck a demon, but if I was fucking someone and I realized they were, I'd still go.
And if would you do the Woody Allen voice because you couldn't control it because you
excuse me. Here we go!
With that, Danny, what's the final word?
Oh!
HorrorDeconstruction.